Defense has rested in the Boston Marathon bombing trial, and they finished up their case with a blockbuster. Sister Helen Prejean, she's the non and anti-death penalty activist made famous by her book and the film Dead Man Walking. Jurors are determining now whether or not to sentence Dzhokhar Tsarnaev to death after his conviction on 30 counts. Well, let's talk about Sister Prejean taking the stand and talking to the court and, of course, the jury. Deb Fayrick is following that for us. Tell us what that was like, Deb.
Well, it was very interesting. Her testimony was nothing short of explosive, Carol. She met with Dzhokhar Tsarnaev 5 times, most recently in the last couple of days. There was a question as to whether, in fact, she would testify, but she took the stand and she said that they discussed the marathon bombing and that they talked about the victims. And she said that when she spoke to Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, quote, he said it emphatically, no one deserves to suffer like they did. She said his eyes were lowered, there was pain in his voice, and he appeared to be sincerely remorseful, telling the jury, I had every reason to think he was genuinely sorry for what he did. Now, we've seen so little reaction from Dzhokhar Tsarnaev in court that her being able to testify about what he thought about the bombing, it's the first insight that we have had in the many weeks of this trial. Now, prosecutors tried to essentially tear that apart, saying the only reason that Sister Prejean, who wrote Dead Man Walking, as you know, was taking the stand and testifying is because she feels so strongly against the death penalty. But when asked by the defense whether, in fact, she would not tell the truth about him being sincerely remorseful, she said, no, that's the way he appeared to her. So that is what the jury has heard, and that is what they're going to be left with as they begin to deliberate whether he should get life or death, Carol.
So was there any emotion from Dzhokhar Tsarnaev as Sister Prejean was testifying?
You know, he seemed, I'm sitting in the back of the court, you know, behind him, and so it's very difficult. The only way you can tell is whether he tilts his head. So it was unclear, but she was one of those people who, when she saw him, she really smiled and smiled warmly. We saw that happen a couple of times with his teachers and with his friends, really acknowledging that the person who is sitting there is somebody who they know as being a good person, ironically enough. And so that's what the defense is trying to show. But again, we're going to be hearing a lot about the crimes themselves. And Carol, you and I have talked about this. The first stage of the trial was all about the crimes and the guilt. This part of the trial is really all about the personality and what went behind all of this. And so this was really some powerful testimony that we heard from today.